It's Friday, everyone. What do we do on Fridays here at the Hint Hive? That's right, we smash the patriarchy. Welcome back, my queens, to another empowering episode of the Hint Hive, Amplifying Women's Voices. I'm Kelly Hint, Queen Bee of this hive, and your life coach here to guide you through the challenges and triumphs of womanhood. Today's topic is a big one, dealing with rejection. We've all been there, whether it's in our careers, relationships, or personal goals. Rejection stings, but today we're going to learn how to turn that sting into strength. So grab your coffee, tea, or that well-deserved glass of wine, and let's dive in. Okay, before we dive in, I just want to give a quick status update for the listeners who've been following the podcast. You know that a couple episodes, I think ago, it was maybe, I gave a status update as to the amount of countries and cities that I was in. And I was a little bit concerned because I was in 6 countries and 66 cities. And I did not like to see the number 666, popping up in my stats feed. So I'm very happy to announce that the Hint Hive is now being listened to in 7 countries and 75 cities. So a big shout out to Italy. Thank you so much for showing up and breaking off my bad karma that I believe I was accumulating through the manifestation of a very negative number. And also, I just wanted to give a shout out to some of the new cities. We've got Branford, Connecticut. We've got Albany, New York. Let's see, where else? We've got Atlanta, Georgia, Round Lake, Illinois. So thank you very much for all the new listeners and all the loyal listeners spreading the love. So thank you, thank you, thank you. I no longer have to see 666 in my stats feed. So well done, Hive. Well done. Very much appreciated. And I also need to take a second to answer a question that I received through my fan mail. A listener asked if I was taking on new patients in my therapy practice and if I was taking on new clients in my coaching practice. And the answer to both of them is yes. For therapy, though, you have to be physically located in the state of New York in order for me to provide therapy to you because I'm only licensed in the state of New York. So, and with coaching, you can be anywhere because we are not doing therapy. So no license is needed. All right. So let's jump into today's fantastic topic of rejection. And I'm being a little bit sarcastic there. Rejection. Even the word can send chills down your spine, right? But here's the thing. Rejection is not a reflection of your worth, even though quite often we feel like it is. It's an experience. It's a moment in time. It is not a definition of who you are. The badass, empowered woman inside you is not diminished by rejection. She is fortified by it. So let's just take a second and start by understanding what rejection really is. Honestly, it's a form of feedback, not failure. When you're turned down for a job, a date, or any opportunity really, it doesn't mean that you're inadequate. It just means that that particular path was not meant for you at that moment. Think of rejection as a redirection, kind of a push towards something better suited for your incredible talents and energy. Remember, every no gets you closer to a yes. Every closed door leads you to one that's wide open, waiting for your brilliance to walk through. So the first step in dealing with rejection is to reframe it. It is not the end of the road. It's simply just a detour to a more scenic route. So I want to share a personal story, but it is very, very new. I mean, I've been dealing with it for decades, but the actual experience is new and raw. So some of you listeners know that this past weekend I was out of state at a funeral. And, okay. So full disclosure, this is going to be a rough one for me to talk about because I have all kinds of feelings about it, but I'm going to try. So please be patient with me. So this past weekend, we had to lay to rest a family member who I have tried for many, many decades to get the approval of. This person did not like me. I certainly did not feel that this person loved me. And yet the little rejected girl inside of me still held out hope that this person would someday see my worth and embrace it and love me. But I never got that. Even in this person's dying moments, I could not receive the validation that I so desperately, desperately wanted. I extended an olive branch during those last moments, and I didn't get anything but whipped in the ass with that olive branch. So it stung. It hurt. It hurt a lot. And I spent a lot of time trying to work through those feelings. And because this has been happening for a little while now, the situation was ongoing, and I'm trying very hard to protect the identity of everyone involved because I don't believe in trashing someone, even if they did their best to trash me. But that's the thing. I'm not going to change who I am just because somebody treated me horribly. So in this person's last moments, I tried really hard to mend fences, and it didn't work. So I go to the funeral, and some of you may be wondering, well, why did you go to a funeral of somebody who despised you and treated you like crap for many decades? Well, again, I'm not going to let somebody change who I am. And who I am is somebody who wanted to support the other family members who were very deeply affected by the loss of this person. So I went, and I sat next to my husband through the service, and when it came time to exit the church, we were walking down the aisle behind the remnants of the deceased individual. And, okay, I'm going to have to take a second. You guys aren't going to know because I'm just going to stop and come back. See what I mean? You never even knew that I was gone. Okay, so we're walking down the aisle, and it hit me, the finality of life. And I got very emotional. I had tears in my eyes, and they started spilling over onto my cheeks and down my face. And I'm walking down the aisle thinking, people are probably looking at me going, why is she crying? I didn't think they were close, and whatever other things. But in that moment, I didn't care because I was very wrapped up in my own feelings. First, it started with, again, like the finality of life. Someday, somebody's going to be walking behind my deceased remains on their way out to watch me be buried. And, So that started hitting me. And then I realized that there's a possibility that I'm going to, well, I know that there's a possibility that this isn't the first time that I will be walking down an aisle behind somebody's deceased remains. And so I was pretty into my feelings. And then it hit me that excuse me. Okay. It hit me that I was out of time, that the time had passed for me to get this person to see me for who I am and for the loving person that I am, for them to see me as somebody who is worthy of the love that I give to other people. And that's when it hit me like a freight train. I was out of time. Sorry. Actually, no, I'm not sorry. I'm not going to apologize for my emotions. I will apologize for the poor quality of audio that you are getting because I keep starting and stopping because I'm trying to control my emotions. Okay. So anyway, I recognized that I was out of time and it was all over and I could never get this person to see me for who I truly am. Instead, they spent their lives thinking of me in a way that I do not agree with. And so I had some moments. I cried, and thankfully I had a great support system in my husband. And my son was also there. And so just knowing that the two of them were there was great for me. Because they're some pretty awesome people. And, there were some other family members there that were great and, comforted me in my moment. But that wasn't the worst part of it. The worst part of it was the aftermath. After all was said and done. And now, as I'm recording this, it's been some days since then. And I struggled with the aftermath of shame. Here I am, spending my life, dedicating my life to empowering women, to uplifting you, to pumping you up so that you are badasses and you don't give one crap what other people think of you. And I crumbled in that moment. I was sad and I had this desperate feeling of failure because I could not get this individual to love me. And so thinking about that, reflecting back on that was the absolute worst part of this experience for me because I had a moment where I felt shattered and I felt like a fraud. That imposter syndrome came in. Who am I to empower women if I'm so weak in this moment? And I'm here to tell you that that was not weakness. That was a moment of humanity. I was naturally sad because my nature is to love people. And so when I'm rejected, it hurts. And you know what? Even an empowered badass such as myself is allowed to be hurt. I am allowed to feel sad. I am allowed to have this moment of weakness that's not weakness because you know what? It's strength. Like I said in the beginning, that this stuff, it fortifies me and it strengthens me, but sometimes it takes me a little bit to come around to that realization. I need to feel the feelings. I needed to feel the hurt because it reminded me of how freaking strong I am. Because this is not the first person who has ever rejected me. And yet here I am doing what I'm doing when I didn't have the support to do what I'm doing, and I did it anyway. And so I wanted to share that, and it's a pretty vulnerable moment because it's not even something I've talked about with anyone but my husband. And actually, I didn't even talk about it to this level with him. He just knows that I was sad that the time ran out and things couldn't be fixed. But he kept reminding me that this person, like, he doesn't think the person was deserving of my love to begin with. But anyway, I hope that there are people listening right now that can relate to this sort of pain, because I want to use it as a reminder that it doesn't make us weak. I didn't fail. I didn't fail at anything. The person that I was grieving did. They failed to see me for who I am, and instead they chose to hang on to an ideal, an idea of me that was false. And that's truly, truly their loss, not mine. I gave all I could, and there was nothing more for me to do. And so I'm working through the stages of grief, and I'm moving towards that phase of accepting that there was nothing left for me to do. And some of you may be surprised by this whole thing, that I had this moment of devastation and what I considered to be weakness. A lot of people, even in my personal life, my family members are shocked when they hear any kind of emotion like this, because they see the tough exterior, because that's what I choose to show people most of the time. And I don't allow many people to see the softer, vulnerable side of me, because it's how I protect myself. Because of the hurt that I have experienced throughout my life. And so I just wanted to share with all of you this rejection piece that I struggled with over the weekend, because I want you to know that if you have experienced something like this, you're not alone. Some of the most successful women in history have faced countless rejections. So, okay, let's take J.K. Rowling. Some of you may have some very negative feelings about her, and others may not. Regardless of how you feel about her, the Harry Potter manuscript was rejected by 12 publishers, if the interwebs are correct, before it became a global phenomenon. Also, Oprah Winfrey, she was told that she was not fit for television. Can you imagine if these two powerhouse women allowed those rejections to stop them? So rejection is not a dead end. It's a stepping stone. And just like them, I'm not going to allow the rejection that I've felt in relationships to stop me. I am taking every single rejection and I am using it as fuel. And so people better be careful, because a lot of you refuel me, not my loyal Hive listeners, but the haters. My haters, you're giving me so much fuel, and I use that. I use it to try and change the world, and I'm going to keep doing that. So let's actually talk about some badass strategies to handle rejection like the damn queens that we are. The first one is to feel the feelings. It's okay to feel hurt, disappointed, or even angry. Allow yourself to process these emotions. Cry, scream, write in a journal. Do whatever you need to do to release that initial pain. It has to come out. And then self-reflection comes. Take a moment to reflect on what happened. Was there something you could improve upon? Constructive criticism can actually be a gift, and we can use it to grow and evolve. Or, as is in my case, after reflecting on what I went through over the weekend, I recognized there wasn't anything that I could improve on. I did the best I could with what I had. And then self-care becomes very, very important. After a rejection, you have to take good care of yourself. Pamper yourself. Do something you love. Surround yourself with positive vibes. Self-care is a revolutionary act of self-love. I'm actually taking this upcoming weekend and I'm spending time with some fabulous people, and I am so excited because it will rejuvenate me and bring me back to center. And then, of course, seeking support, talking to your friends, family, a mentor, a therapist. Sharing your experience and getting support can be incredibly healing. Remember, you have a tribe of badass women who've got your back. And if you feel like you don't, give me a call. I've got your back. And then stay persistent. Keep going. Do not let rejection stop you from pursuing your dreams. Persistence is key. The road to success is paved with rejections, but it's your determination that will lead you to victory. Do not forget that, ever. If you practice these small 5 steps, these, feel the feelings, self-reflect, take care of yourself through self-care, seek support, and stay persistent, you will find the victory that you're looking for. It's how I've found victory every single time. And one of the things that I do, one of the actual coping mechanisms that helped me through so many of my struggles was guided meditation. So let's actually take a minute right now to center ourselves. Let's do a guided meditation to help recover from any rejection that you may be dealing with, that I have been dealing with. So to do this, I want you to stop if you have to and pick this up at another time when you have the ability to do this, or come back to it. But find a comfortable spot. Get comfortable. Pause until you can get a comfortable spot and then start back up again. Now just take a second, close your eyes, and take a deep breath in. Hold it for a moment, and then slowly exhale. Come meditate with me. Imagine that you're standing in a beautiful garden. The sun is shining, and you feel its warmth on your skin. You see a path in front of you, lined with vibrant flowers. This path represents your journey. As you walk down this path, you come across a closed gate. This gate symbolizes rejection. It feels like an obstacle. But as you stand there, you realize that you have the key. You unlock the gate and push it open. Beyond the gate is an even more magnificent garden, full of opportunities and possibilities. You step through feeling empowered and strong. Remember, ladies, you hold the key to your destiny. Rejection is just a gate that you have the power to unlock. And if you need to take a few minutes to sit with this and feel this, pause. Just hit pause and take a minute to meditate on this. You have the power to unlock the gate of rejection. Do not let anyone take that power away from you. As we wrap up today's episode, remember this, everyone. Rejection is not a reflection of your worth. It's a part of life, and it's something that we can learn to handle with grace and power. You are resilient, you are capable, and you are worthy of all the success and happiness that you deserve. Do not hand your power over to anyone. Guard it. Keep it secure. Do not let others steal it from you. And if you're feeling like you've lost it, reach out to your supports. Reach out to me. I sure as hell will do my damnedest to give you the power back that you feel that you've lost. Because quite honestly, you haven't lost it. It just got a little bit buried. As always, my Hive, thank you for tuning in to the Hint Hive, Amplifying Women's Voices. If you enjoyed this episode, please subscribe, leave a review, and share it with the badass women in your life. I want to keep being able to spend this time with you and to give a message of empowerment to all the women out there that I can possibly reach, but I need your help. Until next time, keep shining, keep fighting, and keep amplifying your voice. You've got this, Queen. Stay fierce, stay fabulous, and always remember that you are unstoppable. This podcast is powered by Kelly Hint Empowerment Coaching, as well as Kelly M. Hint LMHC and the Cranky Counselor. To find out more about coaching services, head over to CoachKellyHint.com. If you'd like to know more about the psychotherapy services I offer to individuals within the state of New York, you can check out KellyMHint.com. And if you'd like to learn more about aromatherapy, you can check out thecrankycounselor.com.